A number in scientific notation is written as the product of two factors in the form of a times 10 to the nth power, where n is an integer and a is greater than 1 but less than 10. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's say we have the number 3.4 times 10 to the 6th power. So is this number written in correct scientific notation? So let's take a look at a. Is a between 1 and 10? Yes. Is n the exponent an integer? Yes. So let's say we have 56.29 times 10 to the 12th power. Is this written in correct scientific notation? No. How can we correct it? Move the decimal one place left. That means 5.629 times 10 to the what power? When you move the decimal to the left, you have to add 1. That means 10 to the 13th power. How do you know when it's wrong? See how originally the decimal point, this number right here, was not between 1 and 10? It's 56. So this number has to be 1 or 1.1 or 1.2 or any number in between 1. It could actually be 1, but less than 10. So it cannot be 10. It can be 9.9999. It cannot be 0.3. So let's say, for example, if we had 0.3 times 10 to the 4th power, would this be in correct scientific notation? Okay, let's take a look at a. Is this number somewhere between 1 and 10? Is it 1 or anywhere less than 10? No. So because of this number, we need to move it. We need to move the decimal point to the right or to the left? Right. So that this makes this 3 times 10 to the 3rd power. So we had to subtract 1. When you move the decimal to the right, you have to subtract 1. That means 3 times 10 to the 3rd power. You have to write the number in scientific notation. Let's say you have 56,900,000 and you have to write this in scientific notation. Where's our decimal in this number? After the last zero, right here. That means we have to move our decimal how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes or no? So what would our number in scientific notation look like? Times 10 to the 7th power. So we've moved our decimal to the left and our exponent is positive, right? We move decimal to the left, the exponent is positive. So let's say we have 0.00985. There's a zero there. Can you see the decimal? This decimal has to move to where? 3 spaces to the right. So in between 9 and 8. Why there? Okay. It's, we want a number less than 10. So what would our number look like? 9.85 times 10 to the -3. Why negative? Moved it to the, so when you move the decimal to the right, the exponent is negative. Now we're talking about writing a number from standard form to scientific notation, right? These rules apply. So let's say we have to write the number in standard notation. So we have 1.55 times 10 to the 6th power. So what do we have to do to write this number in standard notation? Okay, move the decimal to the right 6 spaces, right? So that would mean 1.55, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what? We add a 0 for each space. So what does our number look like? 1,550,000. Why did we move our decimal to the right? So we move the decimal to the right 6 spaces when the exponent is positive. So let's say we have 2 times 10 to the -5th power. What do you think we're going to do here? Move to the left. So where's our decimal in it? After 2, I'm going to move to the left. How many spaces? 5. Bless you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What do I put in these spaces? 0. So 0.00002. So move the decimal to the left when the exponent is negative. Let's say we have to multiply 7 times 4 times 10 to the 5th power. How would we simplify this? Well, the only thing you have to do is multiply 7 times 4, right? You only distribute to the number. So what's 7 times 4? 28 times 10 to the 5th power. Now is this in scientific notation? What do we need to do? We have to move the decimal. So where's the decimal on 28? After the 8. That means we have to move the decimal 1 space to the left. So 2.8 times 10 to the 6th power, because we had to add 1. Yes, sir. Okay, because this 10 to the 5th, what this means are those zeros that are not shown after 4. So this would actually mean the same thing as multiplying 7 4 to the 5th power would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So it's the same thing as multiplying 7 times 400,000. Does that answer your question? Let's try this again. Let's say we have to multiply 0.5 times 1.2 times 10 to the negative third power. What do we have to do here? 0.5 times 1.2 is 0.6 times 10 to the negative third power. Is this incorrect scientific notation? We have to move the decimal to the right or to the left? To the right. This is 6 times 10 to the negative fourth power because we moved to the right hand side.